What's up, gamers? It's Proto, and welcome to another episode of Like or Dislike, where we look at some of the latest games that come out. I give you a synopsis of the game, telling you about the mechanics, the stories, and we finish it with a pros and cons to help you decide if you may want to pick up the game. And for the last game for 2020 review, we are looking at Override 2. Now, Override 2 is a third-person fighting brawler game where you get to pilot mechas. So basically, you're fighting it out with mechas, fighting it out with robots, and they all got unique abilities and ways of fighting. Now, this game takes place 7 years after the events from the first Override game, and now the robots are now the biggest entertainment in the world, and you play as a rookie trying to make a name for yourself in these new leagues. Now, you meet this agent, and she teaches you the ropes, talks about the events from the last game, and keeps you updated on your stats in the league as you progress up more and more in it. Now, you'll rank up in the league by completing different fighting events like 1 versus 1 matches, 2 versus 2, free-for-all, tournaments, and more. And they do change it up. You do get a decent variety of different fights to do. And when you get them, they're kind of like randomly generated with different maps for you guys to play on. Now, you can play the game solo, against bots, and against players. And one thing that's really interesting and I like, for the matchmaking, it will search for players, but if you don't want to wait, you can just hop in playing straight with bots. And I thought that was pretty cool because, sometimes if you're trying to match and you're waiting for other people, there may not be a lot of people on all the time. So if you want to just go straight to bots, you can use straight bots. And what makes it interesting is as you get into higher levels, the bots do get much harder to beat. So they won't be easier to take down once you get higher in the leagues. So sometimes it's just interesting if you want to go against actual people or go against bots. Like I said, you have different stages with destructible environments, moving sections, and weapons that you can use to give an advantage. So if you play the first Override, you'll know about the weapons. You have weapons that will randomly come in on the map and you can use them, and they're every quirkiness that you can imagine, from different types of guns, rocket launchers, to the good old frying pan from the first one that's back in it. So definitely some fun in it. And like I said, for certain maps, you have different stages where they'll rotate around, they have environmental damage. So you can hurt your opponents, they can hurt you by just making you fall into stuff. And I thought that was really cool. Now, every time you win, you earn credits and you can slowly increase your rank in the event. So if you compete a lot of 1 versus 1 matches, you can rank up in that match alone. But in order for you to rank up all the other ones, you have to play in those matches. So you get an overall rank that you rise up in, but then you get a rank per league that you're fighting in. Now, you can get sponsors. You can get sponsorships by agreeing to limited time events with sponsors in the game. And when you complete that certain task, you'll get a bonus of credits, and it'll help you out more because when you start completing sponsor tasks, not only do they give you extra credits, but then you'll get more sponsors that want to look at you, and they tie into the story a little bit when your agent tells you about them. Now, you can use these credits to buy more mechs and accessories. They brought back some of the mechs from the first game, but they have added a nice selection of new mechs for you guys to choose from. Now, each mech has its own unique fighting style. Some specialize in range combat, some are close combat, some are heavy, and some are light attacks. Each has their own ultimate ability that can cause devastating damage, but you have to time it just right to use it because it takes time to charge up and use. So like I said, depending on your playstyle, you might have a mech for you. Now, like I said, you can also accessorize these mechs and give them your own personal style. And trust me, you can put some crazy stuff on them. If you played the first one, then you'll definitely understand some of these customizations. And like I said, I really like it because you can really make it as goofy as you want. And when you're playing the game, it's going to have it on there in the matches, so other opponents can see what you've got on it. And you can put up to 3 different accessories on your mech. Now, the controls are much better in this game. Your mech moves much better and reacts much faster, so big kudos to the developer on that one. And the first one, the controls just didn't feel right. They felt very sluggish, wasn't response very good, but this one, I can definitely tell they worked on the controls. It's enjoyable to play this one with the controls they have out. Now, graphic wise, the game looks amazing. The stages are bright and detailed. The detail in the mechs is nice, and the explosions look great when you're using the environment's destruction. Now, as you guys see, all this gameplay is coming from the PC version. And that's pretty much the review. with that being said, let's jump into the pros versus the cons. Starting off with the pros, the first one we're going to look at is the gameplay. Overall, the gameplay is fun. You'll be hopping in, breaking other mechs, destroying them, and you're just having fun with it. Using the different mechs, using their fighting styles, and going against other mechs is just a fun to play. Now, the next pro we're going to look at is the environments. Like I said, you have different stages that you can play, but a lot of them have destructible environments. You can rip buildings down, statues, throw them at them. You can throw them into city buildings, throw them into the ocean. There's even a lava field one where you can throw them into lava and they take damage. I thought that was pretty cool because you can really use the environment to your advantage. And the last pro we're going to look at is the controls. If you played the first one, then you'll definitely say the controls on this one are much better. And in a game like that, I think that's very important. The controls have to be smooth for you to be able to control these mechs, use their abilities right, and have fun at the same time. So with the pros done, let's take a look at the cons. The first con we're going to look at, the agent can be annoying. And that is every time you complete something, every time you come back for a match, she's always talking about something. And she only has so many things she can say, so it gets very repetitive with her. So I wish sometimes you can just skip what she said. You can click through it pretty fast, but sometimes I wish you didn't have to hear her talk every time you do something. To me, that got very annoying. Some people can ignore it, but that depends on the person. Now, next con we're gonna look at, the game can be repetitive. You only have X amount of stages. You got a bunch of different mechs that you can fight, but you're gonna be fighting around the same type of mechs, fighting same mechs. You're gonna be using the same mechs throughout the matches. You're gonna be fighting on the same stages over and over and over. So it can get repetitive. And that ties into the last con. The game is grindy. You will be grinding to get up to the higher ranks to make more money. Now, it's not hard to make the money with the sponsorships and as long as you complete the task, but if you're trying to unlock all the mechs, you're going to be playing a lot and grinding a lot. So keep that in mind. If there's a certain mech you want that you want to play with, unlock that one and go with it. But if you're trying to unlock all of them, expect the grind. And if you don't like the grind, I feel sorry for you. And that's pretty much the pros and the cons of the game. Overall, I got to give the game a like. It's a good balance of fighting, using mechs and everything. You can hop in, play a couple matches and hop out. Definitely a lot of fun to enjoy. I love mecha in general, but I always love a good mecha game. And this is a good mecha fighting game. So definitely check it out if you like the first one and you was curious about this one. But that's pretty much the end of the review. Let me know how you guys feel about it. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button. Let me know you guys enjoy game reviews like this. I'll work on trying to do more game reviews like this. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I talk about stuff going on in the gaming and tech world. I do reviews on some of the latest gaming tech that's out. I do top 10 new games coming out every month and so much more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. You can DM me on there if you want to talk to me directly. You can join our Facebook group page. Hit us up on Instagram, see stuff we post on there. But don't be afraid if you hit me up. I will talk to your head off about gaming, so be forewarned. And you can catch me streaming on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday or Sunday playing a bunch of different games. So if you want to check out some unique games, or if you just want to chat it up with me while I'm gaming, or just watch some good gameplay, definitely check out the channel. But this is Proto, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.